and do what we did last time. Okay,
Okay, thank
so
you.
I will upload this to that same channel, Digital Math Tutor, and you'll be able to see it. And it does take about a half an hour to process when we're finished with our session. So you won't be able to see the recording immediately, but you can go back to the same place that you went before. I don't need to send you a link. If you can just remember to go to the YouTube channel, Digital Math Tutor, you will see your recording on there. I'm making it public, those recordings. If you have any objection at all to that, I can make it private, but then I'd have to give you a password to be able to view it. I don't know
I don't
why
have any.
you might object. You really shouldn't object to it because nobody knows who you are. They know who I am, but you don't have to worry about any kind of embarrassment factor or
It
anything
would be
because they don't know
embarrassing.
who the student is. There's no
Learning,
identification.
learning is never being embarrassed, so I don't worry about that.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and just upload it. And if you go back to that same place you went the last time, you'll see it once it gets uploaded. And I
Okay.
won't have to send you a link specifically to the recording. All right,
Okay.
so we're going through losers. Let's go left or right. Hearts, how many losers?
None.
Spades, how many losers?
One.
And maybe not one. We could lose one. It depends on where the king of spades is. If the king of spades is on the left, we're going to lose it. If the king of spades is on the right, we're not going to lose it. So
Right.
potentially zero.
But when you look at this, you have to excuse me, but it always confuses me. So when you look at this, for instance, or
Uh-huh.
you say you can say to yourself, okay, I have an ace and a king is a loser, but is a king really a loser, or is it taken over by the fact that ace played on top of the king wins? I mean, how do you assume that that's really a
Okay.
loser?
You've got to get used to the concept of finessing. Finessing is all about, bridge is all about finessing. You are constantly dealing with suits where you're missing an honor. But if the honor is on one side of the table, you won't lose it. Do you see why I won't lose it if the king is over here?
Yes, because the ace will be played on top of it.
Well, no, I'm going to leave the jack. And if he covers, yes, I'll play the ace. But if he doesn't cover, I'm going to play small. If the king is on my left, I'm going to lose it anyway. So there's no cost to doing that.
Okay, so how do you assess in this particular situation, what are your losers?
Okay, let's keep going. What are diamonds? How many losers? I'm looking from the south hand, the long trump hand. How
Well,
many
how many do
diamond
we say?
losers do I have?
How do we say in spades? Just one?
One or none, depending on where the king is.
Okay. And I'm sorry, now where do you want to go?
Diamonds,
We have at least one.
only one. We're looking at it from the south side. I've got the ace of diamonds for that three of diamonds. I don't have any other diamonds losers in my south hand. So zero diamond losers, always.
Okay.
In other words, you have to do your loser analysis from one side of the table or the other. And the best way to do it is from the long trump hand. If you have equal trumps, let's say we both had four trumps, then you can do your analysis from either side, take your pick, but make a pick. I always do it from the long trump hand, not the strong hand, the long trump hand. And so I only have one diamond loser. I don't care about those, aren't losers from my hand. I'm not going to lose any diamonds. If they lead a diamond again, I'm going to trump. Okay, so diamonds, I absolutely have no losers. How about clubs?
You have one?
One and only one. Never more, never less. You're not going to duck 3 rounds of clubs without taking the ace. So I am either going to make 11 or 12 tricks on this hand, because the most I have is 2 losers, so that would make 11 tricks. And if the spade king is on side, I'm only going to have 1 loser, and I'm going to make 12 tricks. So this would have been a hand that it would actually be legitimate to be in a slam. The slam is 50-50. It's going to make whenever the spade king is on side. It's going to go down whenever it's offside. And that's the magic number you want to make decisions in bridge.
When
If
you're
you
counting,
think, go ahead.
when you're counting your losers here, you have like ace, king, queen, jack. So those are your picture cards, with the 10. So when I
Oh, I
look
don't
at
have any heart losers. It's impossible for me to lose a heart. I'm
no,
only
I'm not,
missing 4 hearts.
no, I'm not saying you're losing it. I'm saying as I look at the club area, okay, it's missing the ace. And it was at first look at the picture card. So it's missing the ace, but it has king, jack, queen. So it has the
Yeah.
other.
And the
So
way you count losers is you lay down your biggest card. Okay. If they, which is the king, they'll take that with the ace. And then your other 2 clubs, you have the queen and the jack. So you don't have any more club losers. You're going to lose the ace, and that's it.
and when you over here in the hearts, when you look at your hearts and you go through the ace, the top, the ace, queen, excuse me, ace, king, queen, jack, 10, you're also assuming that as you get to a certain point, you're playing the 8, 7, 3, and 6 somewhere in the
Those
course.
are winners. We're not worried about winners right now. When we are in a suit contract, we're going to count losers. These hearts are always good. I've always got 6 tricks there. No matter what happens, I've got 6 heart tricks. But that's counting winners. If we were in no trump, that's what I would do, would be to count winners. But because
Okay.
we're in a suit contract, I'm counting losers. And I only have 1 or 2 at most. So the hand's going to play itself. There's really not much to playing this hand. I'm going to have you play it, every card of it.
Okay, well, the king was led.
Just call the cards from the dummy and the declare hand out, and I will play them.
All right. We'll see now here. I would play the ace over the king.
Now what?
Okay, and now I'd start to pull
Call
trump.
cards. Yeah, that's
Let's see.
correct. That's the next best. Always pull trump unless there's a reason not to. And there's no reason not to.
All right, so I'd play the 6 of the ace.
Okay. All right. That works.
If you think it's wrong, just tell me.
Well, you don't want to block the heart suit. And you're setting up to block the heart suit. What if hearts split 4-0? Then you're going to have to pull 4 rounds of trump. And you're blocking the suit up by playing. I would have played the king of hearts first, and then the jack of hearts, and then a small heart if I needed to pull another. So be careful about blocking suits. In other words, you said play small to the ace. Okay, and now what?
I'm like a little confused as to how I'm blocking something.
Okay, well, this is not really a good demonstration of it, because the king of hearts, let's say the king and queen were in dummy. The suit's blocked. I can play the king and the queen, but I can't get back to my hand to finish pulling trump. I mean, I
Okay.
can, but I got to get back to my hand in a different suit. So
All
just
right.
get in a habit of not blocking suits. If you have king, queen, X opposite ace fifth, don't play small to the ace. You block the suit. Play
So
the
what?
king and then the queen and then small to the ace. And now if they were split, you've got all 5 trump suit tricks.
All right, but do you ever look at this as, for instance, you want to keep the king uh in the upper
As an entry so that I can do the spade finesse, yes.
yes.
But I can always get the dummy with a club by leading a small club to the king. If they don't take it, I'm in dummy to take my spade finesse. They do take it, I'll get there with the jack. So I'm not worried. I do need to get to dummy at least once after pulling trump.
Okay.
However, they both followed on the first trump, and there were only 4 missing to begin with. So there's only 2 out. So we can definitely pull trump and end up in dummy. So what's the next card to play?
I play the 3 to the king.
Okay, so they split 2-2. Trump or pull. Now what?
I take the jack.
4 jacks and dummy. Jack or what?
I'm sorry, jack of hearts.
No, we've already pulled trump. No need to pull more than 1 round. Once trump or pulled, you don't want to waste that jack of hearts
Okay.
by pulling an unnecessary round of trump.
Right. So you've used the capability of your 13 cards, keeping the extra card as necessary.
Always know how many cards were missing in a suit, and the suit is now clear. Don't find yourself playing that jack of hearts just because you didn't keep count.
Okay, well, then I'd probably take the 3 of spades.
Okay, that'll work. And then what are you going to play? Let me show you. Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to try and finesse it with the queen.
That's fine. But notice that if the finesse works, I want to repeat it, right?
Right.
Now I got to figure out a way to get back to dummy. So wouldn't it have been better to lead the jack of spades first? Because then I'm staying in dummy. This is okay because we have plenty of transportation to get to dummy. Okay, so the spade worked. Now how do I get back to dummy to try it again? This is the advantage of playing the jack first, is that I stay in dummy.
Oh, okay.
It's not deadly here because we have multiple ways I can get back with the jack of hearts. I can get back with a club. So pick one. You're playing the hand. Tell me what to play.
Well, see, this is where I get confused as to what's the best thing for me to do. I don't know whether, for instance, to play the 5 to the jack of spades. You know what I mean?
Why would you do that? You would give up a spade trick that you're not going to lose. We know the king is over here. Otherwise, this person would have won this trick with the king.
Well,
So you know the king is on your right, and it is finessable again. But you can only finesse from the north. You have to lead from the north to finesse it. You can't lead from the south. If I lay down ace of spades, spade, I'm going to lose to the king of spades. Don't need to lose to the king of spades. So you got 2 ways to get to dummy. You can lead a heart to the jack, or you can lead a club to the king. Pick one. They're both equal. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'd leave the heart to the jack.
All right. Now what? Now what?
I'm trying to figure it. Should I play the 9 to the queen?
Our goal is to finesse that spade king. We're not worried about clubs. We're gonna lose the ace of clubs and claim 2 club tricks after they take their ace. What we're worried about is this spade suit. We still have a spade loser until you've done something about it.
Or can you take the 6 of spades?
Not the 6, that won't finesse him. He'll stick in the 7 and we'll have to win with the ace and then we'll lose the 5. Lead the jack of spades and duck. We know he's got the king. Now we're good to go. Now we have no more spade losers. Let's knock out the ace of clubs and we can claim. Notice our hand is good.
So now you see where I have my problems.
Okay, that's all right. That's what I'm here to help you with. When you're going to take a finesse, and if it works, you're going to want to repeat it, then play your top spade from dummy first. Instead of playing small to the ace queen, lead the jack, and you're just going to let it roll. Right. All right. So you see where our hand is good now?
Yeah.
All right, let me claim. And have another one. Points. How many points?
4, 6 is 10, and 5 is 15, and 4 is 19.
Okay.
19 points. Not counting your communication point, just high card points.
Right. We have 19 high card. We have a really good hand. There is a school of thought that adds a point for a 5-card suit. So it's legitimate to say we have a 20-point hand.
Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Evelyn. Ev. Yes. I'm sorry, David.
Sorry.
Go
So
ahead.
the advantage of doing that is there's a really nice bid that we'd like to be able to make, which is to open to no trump, which says I have 20 to 21 high card points. And I'm balanced. And this hand is certainly balanced. It's 5-3-3-2 shape. So it's balanced. And the advantage of opening to no trump is your partner immediately knows what your hand is. It's 20 to 21 points and balanced. Whereas if I open at a spade, I could have rebid problems. And if I open at a spade and partner bids 1 no trump, which is his most likely bid, then I'll bid 3 no trump and he'll be playing it. And this powerful hand will be exposed for everybody to see. And that's not usually a good thing either. There's something called right-siding a contract, where you want the more powerful hand to be the closed hand, the declarer hand. You don't want all of these honor cards visible to both opponents. It gives them an advantage on how to play. So you try to think of those kind of things when you're bidding. That might be a little advanced for you at the moment, so we won't really worry about right-siding contracts. But I do like the idea of opening this to no trump. 1 no trump says 15 to 17. 2 no trump says 20 to 21. Now, I only have 19. But if I add a point for this 5th spade, which is what all of the experts do, everyone that I know, then I have 20 points. So I'm going to open it to no trump. Partner didn't even go through Stamen. They're not interested. That means they don't have a 4-card major. And I can't bid over that. Who, at this point in time, who has the most information about our combined hands? Is it the North or the South?
I think it's the South.
Really? What do you know about the North hand?
you take, okay.
I'm saying which hand has the most information about both hands, not about their hand. I know what my hand is, North knows what his hand is. I'm
North,
talking about which one of us knows the most about the combined hand.
the North.
Yeah, because I have told him almost exactly what I have. The only
Right.
thing he doesn't know is I have this 5-card major, this 5-card spade suit. So we might be missing a 5-3-5. But he is the one, he is the captain of the ship. Once I have narrowed the range of my hand, your partner is the captain. They're the ones that place the contract. Just because I have a strong hand here doesn't mean I should keep bidding. That's not the way bidding works. The way bidding works is you try to describe your hand as accurately and as narrowly as possible. And then one of you at some point has the most information about the combined two hands, and they're the one that sets the contract. Well, North has most information. He's setting the contract. He might only have 6 points, and he would still bid 3 no trump. So if we went on, we'd be in danger of bidding too high. But that is a really, really important concept in bridge, as to the person that sets the contract is the person that has the most information about both hands. So we have to pass there. All right, now, good that we're in no trump, because we can talk about winners. You analyze it completely different when you're in no trump. You got winners. It's really peculiar that this thing doesn't let me change the color. Oh yeah, there it goes. It wasn't earlier. Okay. So let's talk about winners. And we got different kinds of winners. We got winners that we can cash off the top. And then we have winners that will be winners if we give up a trick. So those are called slow winners. So you have immediate winners. So let's just go through immediate winners. Spades, hearts, diamonds, clubs. How many immediate spade winners do we have?
1.
We might be able to develop more, because we're only missing the king, the jack, and the 8. So depending on where the king and the jack and the 8 lie, we might be able to give up a spade trick and eventually get 4 winners, but they're slow winners. So maybe I'll put over here, maybe 3 if we have time. And what do I mean if we have time? Well, if we had a really weak suit where we only had 1 stopper, and they stop and they knock it out, you don't have time. They're going to run all their winning tricks. So how many heart winners do we have?
1.
1, but maybe 2, depending on where the king is. Once again, almost every single bridge hand has a finesse that you must understand to play bridge. Okay, in other words, if the king of hearts is over here, I'm going to score both my ace and my queen. I'm just going to lead small to the queen. I do have to play hearts from the north in order to get 2 heart tricks if the king is on side. If the king is on my left, then I've only got 1 heart trick, and that's all I'm ever going to get, unless I can get him to lead away from the king, which he will never do. So, okay, so far we got 2 top winners. How about diamonds?
You have 2.
And really no possibility for more. Clubs, how many off the top?
Well, this is a good one to ask me, because I would count the king, queen, jack.
No, they're not winners. If I lay down the king, somebody's going to win it with the ace. So we have 0 off the top. But we have a bunch of slow winners. Once we knock out the ace of clubs, we have 5 winners in clubs, but they're slow winners. And then there's very slow winners where you have to knock out an ace and a king to get the rest of your tricks. So you have three kinds of winners. You have immediate winners that you can cash off the top. You have slow winners where if you give up one trick, the rest of your cards will be good, like the club suit here. The only one I'm missing is the ace. I've got the king, the queen, the jack, and the 10. And I've got 6 of them between us. Excuse me, I have 9 clubs between us. So no matter how they're breaking, I'm only losing 1 club trick, and I'm definitely getting 5 club tricks if I can get there. In other words, if the person with the ace of clubs doesn't take it right away, let's say they hold up till the 3rd round, then I don't have a club to get back there. But I got this king of diamonds. King of diamonds is a sure entry. Always get back to dummy. All right, so call out the cards that I should play. All right, 5, and notice over here on the right, so I'm going to get 5 club winners because I have stoppers in every other suit. So even if they take their ace of clubs and switch to a different suit immediately, I'm always getting those 5 club winners because I can always get there with the king of diamonds. All right, so we'll put on the 6. He didn't take it, so let's win it. Now what?
How do we keep playing it?
That's not good enough. Tell me specifically what cards to play. Because there is a big mistake you could make here. When you say keep playing it, that doesn't tell me whether to play the queen or the 3.
I play the 3.
No, that blocks the suit. That's what I'm talking about. If I play a 3 towards the jack and the person takes with the ace, now I can't run my clubs because the queen blocks them. That's what blocking a suit means. You see why? Here, I'll do it. I'll do it on purpose here because I don't mind blocking the suit because I can always get back to the king of diamonds. But watch what difficulties it gives me. Okay, now he knows the suit is blocked because he was paying attention. His partner showed out. Whenever your partner shows out on a suit, you immediately know the shape of that suit for all 4 hands. So this person started with 3 clubs to the ace, and his partner led a singleton and then showed out at the 2nd club trick. So
what do you mean showed out?
He didn't have any more clubs. Showed out a club.
Okay.
The last trick. When I led a club, he didn't follow suit. He played the jack spades. That's what I mean by showing out. He showed out of clubs. Okay. All right. So he's led the 8 of spades and he just threw the jack of spades. So the only spade I'm missing now is the king. So if I can knock out the king of spades, all my spades are going to be good. Wow. And furthermore, it looks like the spade finesse works. Okay. So the king of spades might be over here. It might not. It's hard to imagine this guy would throw the jack of spades without the king. But anyway, so what next?
When you continue to play the spades?
No, I still want to set up those club tricks. I'm looking at 3 club winners in dummy. I got to knock out the ace of clubs. Remember, I can only get back there 1 time with the king of diamonds. So I don't want to dilly-dally. I want to knock out that ace of clubs. Let's knock it out. What happened? What happened to the ace of clubs?
No.
I started with 3. You started with 6. North started with 6. This guy started with 1. He might have taken the ace of clubs and I didn't see it. I guess that's what happened. He took the ace of clubs on the first trick and I just forgot. Okay. So our clubs are all good. I just have to get there. Well, let's play a diamond to the king. We wouldn't have had to do this had we not blocked the club suit. I wouldn't have had to play a diamond to the king. I would have had a club I could have led to the suit. Okay, so now all of our clubs are good. Let's cash them. Don't need that 9 of hearts. That can never be a winner. Don't need that 3 of spades. Now, here's the tough one. Do I throw the Queen of Hearts or the 9 of spades? Because they made us believe the spade finesse was working. When they didn't take the King of Spades the first time spades were left. I suspect that it's not working, but even still, I'm going to throw away the Queen of Hearts because I don't know where the King of Hearts is. If the King of Hearts is on my left, then the Queen of Hearts is no good to me. It's going to lose a trick. Whereas all of these spades might be good. So we leave the Jack of Spades and we do the finesse because we're only missing the king. Okay, that worked. And now my hand is good if the king falls. I don't think it's going to fall though. No, it didn't fall. So I cash my 2 red aces and then I lose the last trick to the king of spades. Which is fine. I made 11 tricks. So I'm claiming 11 tricks. Claiming all but 1.
David, you're pretty good at this.
What's that?
Said you're pretty good at this.
Well, I've been playing a long time.
It's a compliment.
50 years. Thank you. But there's little things like not blocking suits, taking finesses. Those are the kind of things you want to focus on. That's what will make you a better bridge player, is knowing that you want to lead towards strength. That's basically the same thing as saying you want to finesse. Okay, when you lead towards strength, it gives you the ability to finesse. All right, so what should we do with this? 13 high card points. We are the dealer and we are not vulnerable. It's always a good idea to look up here because this vulnerability affects bidding tremendously. You can bid loosely when you're not vulnerable because the opponents can't punish you very well. When you're vulnerable, you got to be a lot tighter. You got to play it closer. You got to have more values for your bids. But this is an automatic bid. What should I bid?
1 spade.
Yeah, there's no secondary consideration. Okay. Partner bid a no trump. And because the robots are playing 2/1 game force, and that's what I want to teach you to play, even if that's not what anybody in your club plays, I still want to teach you to play it. Because you can still go back and play 2/1 non-game forcing when you play with them. But I want to show you how to play game forcing. Because if you ever play duplicate, everybody plays 2/1 game. And in a lot of non-duplicate games, you'll find people are playing 2/1. It's whatever you and your partner decide you're going to do. That you don't have to do either. You can either play 2/1 game force or you can say, no, let's not. But I want to teach you to do it. And the one thing is if you are playing 2/1 game forcing, then 1 no trump becomes a forcing bid. If you are not playing 2/1 game force, then 1 no trump says 6 to 9, you can pass it. Okay, so that's the difference. And notice the robots are playing it because this says forcing 1 round, and he can have up to 12 points. He might have a limit raise in spades. First of all, let me tell you what a limit raise means. A limit raise means 3 card support and 10 to 12 points. If he had exactly 3 spades and was in the 10 to 12 point range, There is no good way to show that. There's no bid that shows that. And the way you do it is by bidding a no trump first. And then when I rebid, you jump to 3 spades, or you bid 3 spades, depending on what I rebid. And what that tells me is that you have a limit raise in spades. I'm going to use that phrase a lot. Everybody does. Limit raise in a suit means exactly 3 card support and 10 to 12 points. So rather than having to keep repeating that, I'm going to call it a limit raise. So my rebid here, since I have to bid again and it's forcing, I can bid 2 spades. I do need 6 of them. Notice what it says about a 2 spade rebid. I've already showed 5 cards by opening. So if I rebid it, I'm showing 6. Also notice that I'm narrowing my hand down by bidding 2 spades. I'm now telling him that I don't have more than 16 points. I've got somewhere between 12 and 16. I have 6 spades. That's narrowing the hand down quite a bit. So that's my bid, 2 spades. All right, let's see what that 2 no trump bid means.
Now, I have a question for you.
Sure.
You certainly can't use this little square in the upper right-hand corner while you're playing. So
Oh, yes, you can.
you can use
Well, it depends. If you're playing a solitaire against 3 robots, yes, you can always find out what the robot bid means by clicking. All you have to do is click on it. In other words, if I click on that one, it shows me what the 1 no trump bid meant, and it turns brown. And if I click on the 2 no trump, it shows me he has 10 plus high card points, but he's only got a stiff spade. He's got a singleton spade or a void even. That's what this 1 or less means. 1 minus means he either has 1 or 0. He does not have 2. Because if he had 2, he would support my spades. He knows I have 6. You're always looking for an 8 card fit. So all he would need is 2 spades to raise me to 3 spades. He didn't do it. He's denying 2 spades. If he only has a singleton, I definitely don't want to be in 4 spades or 3 spades or 2 spades. If he has a small singleton, we don't have a good spade suit at all. So I'm not going to keep pressing on spades. I don't want to play in spades. He's told me he has 10 plus 12 less total points. We don't have a fit, so the only thing we can count is high cards. I have 13. He has at most 11. That's 24. We don't have game. I'm going to pass this bid. We have not found a fit in any suit. So no trump's a good spot to play. And we don't have enough points to go to 3 now. His bid was invitation. This is called an invitational bid because he's telling me that if I have anything extra at all, go to 3 no trump. If I don't, pass. When somebody gives you an invitational bid, if you've told them everything you have already, then pass. You don't have anything extras. So we're going to play it at 2 no trump. Now we're playing it. The north is the declare. Notice he has exactly 10 points, high card. And this is really a lousy situation because we have 5 hearts opposite a singleton and we have 6 spades opposite a singleton. So we don't really have a good source of tricks.
How did you know that the north was the
because he was the first one to bid no trump. Whoever is the first person to bid the contract, the suit, or no trump, that's the declare.
Okay, but on our
by definition,
and our situations here,
no, by definition, the declare is the first person to bid that suit or no trump.
So, but that would be, the hand would be, for instance, on the north, I'm just,
North
that'd be,
was the first
maybe,
person to bid no trump, and the
and
final
that's the hand you'd be
contract is
playing.
in no trump.
But
Therefore,
that's the
North is
hand
to
you,
the club.
that's the hand you'd be evaluating.
Okay, when you're in no trump and you are counting winners, you don't do it from one side or the other. You don't do that in no trump. You just count all the winners you can. So let's do that. In other words, I'm not analyzing it from one side or the other. I'm counting both sides. When you're counting winners, I need to be able to count both hands. So how many heart winners do we have? We'll start with hearts because they led hearts.
You don't have any.
Normally, I wouldn't have any because if I had to lead down the king, he takes it with the ace, and now I'm missing the queen, the jack, and the 10. But he led the suit. So if he led away from the ace, my king's going to win this trick. If he has the ace, my king's going to win this trick. If his partner has the ace, he can take it, but then my king will win. So I for sure have one heart trick only because he led it. No other reason. If he hadn't led a heart, I wouldn't be able to say I have one heart trick. But I have one heart trick for sure. I can always get there with the king of clubs to take it. So I have one heart trick. I might even have more. We do have 6 hearts between us. So we're missing 7. If those 7 cards are split 4-3, then there's a small possibility that that 5th heart could be good. So maybe, just maybe, I have 2. Probably not. Because for one thing, I'm going to have a hard time getting there. I only have one sure entry, the king of clubs. I might be able to get there with the jack of clubs and finesse the queen, so I might be able to get there twice. Because notice that in the club suit, I'm missing the queen of clubs. Well, if the queen of clubs is on my left, I've got 3 club tricks. I'm going to lay down the ace, and then I'm going to lead towards the king jack. So spades, how many winners do I have?
You have none.
Exactly. I may get some if I want to work on spades. I might be able to. In other words, the king will knock out the ace, the jack will knock out the queen, but I do have 7 spades, so I'm only missing 6. So if they're split 3-3, I can lose 3 spade tricks, and then all 3 of those are going to be good. So I potentially could get 3 spades if I want to attack that suit. And with this hand, that's my only option. I don't have a lot of source of tricks. I could potentially get 3 clubs, 3 diamonds, and this heart. That'd be 7 tricks, but I need 8 to make 2 no trump. I got to get 8 tricks. So I do need to try to develop some tricks. How about clubs? How many tricks, winners do I have?
2.
2, but 3 if the queen is on the left. Well, first of all, make sure you understand that. If you don't, let's talk about it. You see why it matters where the queen is. If the queen is on my right, I'm only ever going to win 2 club tricks. Even if I led the jack from dummy, he just covers with the queen. I win with the ace, and I get my ace and my king, but now I lose to the 10. So if the queen is on my right, I do not get any more than 2 club tricks ever, unless he leads away from it. And I doubt that he would do that player. So I might get 3 club tricks, but it requires the queen to be on the left, and I'm going to have to lead towards the king jack in order to finesse. All right, diamonds. How many winners?
2.
And maybe 3. The same thing is true in diamonds. If the queen is on the right, I'll finesse it and get 3 diamond tricks. If the queen of diamonds is on the left, there's no way I'm getting 3 diamond tricks because his queen's going to take my jack and I'm only going to win the ace and the king. Now, there is an outside possibility that the diamonds will split 3-3, and I could get 4 diamond tricks. If the queen is on side and that 4th diamond sets up, then I might actually get an extra diamond trick. So I'll even put down here 3 or 4, outside chance of 4. To get 4 diamond tricks, I would need precisely this to have 3 to the queen and 3 small. And then I could finesse the queen, lay down the ace and the king. That'll pull all the diamonds. And then that 4th diamond and dummy will be good if I can get there. And again, bridge is all about entries. It doesn't do any good to have good tricks if you can't get to them. So I have 5 winners off the top. Those 5 right there. But I do have some chance to develop additional tricks. If in a perfect world, I might get 2 hearts, 2 spades, 3 clubs, and 4 diamonds. But rarely in bridge does everything work right. You don't know. I have no idea at this point in time where the queen of diamonds or the queen of clubs is. So until I find out more information, I can't do much. Well, I can only play the 9 of hearts, so we'll play it. Now what should I do from dummy? Should you win it? If I play small, I've lost the trick. I might still get the king of hearts later.
I'd win it.
Yeah, there's no reason not to win it. Okay. So now I have to decide what to do. Do I go after spades? Do I go after hearts? Do I hope that hearts are split 4-3 and try to set up that last heart? Problem is going to be is I don't have very many entries to dummy. So I could knock out a heart. They'd win. They lead clubs, take out my king of clubs. Now I can't even get the dummy to knock out another heart. And I got to lose 3 hearts before that last one could even be good. So that plan doesn't sound very good to go after hearts. If I rely on clubs and diamonds, theoretically, in a perfect world, I can get 4 diamond tricks and 3 clubs with my king of hearts. That's 8 tricks. I make the contract. But that is very, very slim. The odds of queen 3rd of diamonds, which it would have to be, being on this hand right here, are 20%. The odds of the queen of clubs being on the left, I don't care how clubs split. If the queen of clubs is over there, I'm going to get 3 club tricks. That's 50%. In other words, the odds of a missing card being in one hand or the other is usually 50-50. So if I combine my 50% and my 20%, that's only 10%. I have a 10% chance of making this hand if I immediately try a diamond finesse and then do a club finesse and hope diamonds split. I can make 8 tricks, but only 10% of the time will I do that.
What would you make a diamond finesse of?
I would lead towards the strength. I would lead from dummy towards my ace, king, jack. If he plays anything but the queen, I'm going to put in the jack.
If he plays anything but the queen?
Yeah, I'm going to finesse the queen, is what that's called. I'm finessing the queen, hoping that it's on the right, and then my jack's going to be good, no matter what he does. If he goes up with the queen, that's even better. And then my ace, king, and jack are all good, and I can just lay them down.
Right.
but I don't know at this point. That line of play is very, very low probability. It's 10%. And it's not really important that you know the exact percentages. That's not important at all. What's important is that you realize that that line of play isn't going to work very often, because it requires specifically for the queen of diamonds to be on the right with exactly 3 cards, and it requires the queen of clubs to be on the left. So I don't like that line of play. The problem, the other alternative lines of play are, Jesus, we can knock out the ace of spades, and then they'll always cash at least 3 heart tricks and the queen of spades. That's 5. And I got problems that way also. Nonetheless, I think I'm going to go after spades. And this is one of the tougher decisions I've seen since we've been working together. It's not clear what the best line of play is. I'm going to go ahead and gamble that spades might be split 3-3. Okay, he laid clubs for me, and that's good. I'm going to finesse the queen right now. I'm going to put the jack on, and if he led away from the queen, it's going to win the trick. He did lead away from the queen, because if this person over here had the queen, he would have taken it right then and there. He would have covered that jack with the queen. You're taught in bridge to cover an honor with an honor. So when that jack was played, if he had the queen, he should have covered it. Remember that expression, cover an honor with an honor. Okay, I was going to go after spades. Let's just keep going after him. There's no real point in laying down the jack, because it's going to get taken by the queen, and then I'm still missing the 10 and the 9. So maybe the queen is a doubleton spade, and if I just play a small spade, no, I can't, I'm in dummy. All right, let's use this opportunity to take a diamond finesse. We're going to want to take a diamond finesse regardless at some point in time, and I'm going to be over there twice, so let's take a diamond finesse. Ooh, that one also. Now I have a life. Now is all I need is diamonds to split 3-3, and I have my 8 tricks. I want to change my game plan. I don't want to go after spades anymore. Why? Because they can take probably 2 spades and 3 hearts if I lead a spade right now. Well, that would be 5 more tricks, and they already have 1. That means I would go down 1, because I would lose 6 tricks. Whereas I'm going to make 8 tricks as long as the diamonds are split 3-3. Well, let's see. They're not. He only had 2 of them, which means that 4th diamond is going to prevent me. I'll go ahead and lay down the king of diamonds. He could have been false guarding. He was false guarding. In other words, he didn't need to play the queen on the previous one. He was just trying to deceive me, and it worked, because he now has the 9 of diamonds. That 8 of diamonds is not good. So back to the drawing board. I don't have 8 tricks anymore. I can try to set up a spade. Let's see if that might work. 8 of diamonds is no good. There's no point keeping it. Okay. He's helping me a little bit here. Not really. Because if I take this in dummy, I'm stuck in dummy, leading hearts or clubs. If I take it in my hand, now even if spades split, I'm not going to get to them because I have no entry to get back to my hand. All my spades are now good, but I can't get to them. So this highlights the problem with entries. So the only thing I can do is lead, and they're going to take the last 3 tricks, because they have 3 good heart tricks, plus club tricks now, plus diamond tricks. So I'm down 1. I was always down 1. I had no hope of ever making that the way the cards lay. So I lost 50 points, and you'll notice, yeah, actually, we were not playing 2/1. Now, I would have bid a spade, he would have bid 2 hearts. So you're always going to get beyond 1 no trump. And 1 no trump was the only contract that had any chance of making. 2 spades won't make, 2 hearts won't make, 2 diamonds won't make. 1 no trump was the only thing that had a chance of making, and you can't stop there when you're playing forcing no trump. So not much we could do on this hand, other than, and that's the way bridge goes. Sometimes you just run into these situations where, look, I had 13 opposite 10, that's 23 points, and yet we were not even able to make 2 no trump. We could only make 7 tricks and 1 no trump.
Right,
Usually 23 points is enough to make 2 no trump.
Right.
But not when you have horrible fitting cards. This is called a total misfit. When you do not have an 8-card fit, you have a misfit. We have a 7-card fit in spades, a 6-card fit in hearts, a 6-card fit in clubs, and a 7-card fit in diamonds. We have no fit. It's a complete misfitting hand. We have singletons opposite our long suits. These are not good hands for taking tricks. When you have misfitting hands and you know it, then you want to go low. You always want to bid as low. If you have a decision as to whether to bid game or not, don't. Misfitting hands are always tough to play and will not take the number of tricks you might expect they would take based strictly on high card point count. All right, good place to stop. Let me stop this.